If you're watching this video, then, like me, you dream of one day becoming filthy rich. The only issue is, you have no discernible skills or talent. Now, you could waste your time earning an education, or try to come up with the next must-have toy. But that sure seems like a lot of hard work to me. But thankfully, there's a tried and tested method that thousands of useless simpletons like you have used to build massive personal fortunes. Become a politician. It's no secret that of the 535 members of the US Congress, 273 of them are multi-millionaires. That's more than 50%. And when it comes to making money, it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. If you work in Washington, chances are you'll be drowning in cash. And it happens on every level. By the time Barack Obama had left office in 2018, he had increased his own personal fortune by more than 3,000%. And if they can do it, so can you. After all, most of them are as useful as a concrete parachute. So if you're looking for ways to cheat the system, and don't mind screwing over the poor, here's how to get filthy rich by following 5 tips from members of the US Congress. So you're a politician now. You've kissed all the babies, shook all the hands, and promised a bunch of desperate people a lot of crazy things in order to get elected. Now, it's finally time to do what your constituents voted you into office for. But with a measly salary of only $175,000 a year, how on earth are you supposed to survive? Tip 1. Get a second job. These days, everybody needs a side hustle, even publicly elected figures. And luckily for our politicians, there are thousands of corporations that would love to hire a member of Congress. You could be a guest speaker at one of their events. Become a brand ambassador. Or, if you're really lucky, you might get to serve as a member on their board. And it's all perfectly legal. Just as long as you promise that it won't influence your official decisions in any way. Tip 2. Encourage your partner's interests. With your second job and all those boring meetings you'll be in, you'll barely have time for family. So it's important that your significant other has a hobby. After all, you never know when a hobby could become another profitable side hustle. So encourage your partner to try something new, like fishing, or painting. And if that's not for them, they could always try opening an investment account at a top brokerage firm and trading the stock market. It just so happens that even when Wall Street is bleeding, and the experts are all losing millions, our politicians always seem to beat the odds. In fact, some of Wall Street's most successful traders have been the spouses of members of Congress. And don't worry if they happen to make a little money trading the stocks of companies you regulate, because that's just a massive coincidence. Isn't that right, Nancy? Tip 3. Get out there and meet people. As a member of Congress, your job is to listen to the people, and who knows more about what the average person truly needs than the highly paid representative of $1 billion corporation. With over 12,000 eager lobbyists in Washington, you'll be spoilt for choice. So no matter what decision you're facing, there will be a lobbyist happy to help you make up your mind. So take a few meetings and hear what they have to say. You never know, some of them might have some good ideas. They might even offer to pay for dinner, or take you on a classy night out. And if you prove to be really useful, they might even make a small donation to your re-election campaign. After all, in 2022 alone, lobbyists gave almost $4.1 billion to our needy politicians. Tip 4. Get out on the campaign trail. If you've been working hard, then by now you should have access to millions of dollars in campaign donations. But hang on, because all that money needs to be recorded. And it won't just be your accountant who gets mad if you happen to spend a little of it on yourself. It's also illegal, because the only way you can touch any of that money is if it's for campaign expenses. But don't you worry, because as it turns out, almost anything can be a campaign expense. You can even hire a member of your own family and pay them an exorbitant salary, just as long as it's all for the campaign. So fly in private jets, stay at the most luxurious hotels, and eat at the finest restaurants. Because cleverly managed, your campaign fund can finance the high roller lifestyle of your dreams. But by far, the easiest way to live the millionaire lifestyle in America today is to spend somebody else's money. So tip 5 is be born into massive wealth. Historically, some of the wealthiest politicians have been heirs to or married into massive fortunes. Senator Mitt Romney inherited a large chunk of his wealth from his father, while Mitch McConnell married the heiress to a massive shipping firm. In fact, some of America's most famous presidents inherited most of their money before ever running for office. And they were seen as mostly great leaders. So as you can see by the behaviour of our elected officials, there are more ways than ever to become rich in America today. If you're ready, willing and able to follow these 5 tips, then you too could build a massive fortune by masquerading as a public servant and exploiting a flawed system designed to benefit the rich at the expense of everybody else. Because after all, that's the American dream. Thanks for watching. Now I know you're probably very busy hanging out with all your friends. But if you could do me a favour and subscribe to my channel, it would help me get one step closer to that important 1,000 subscriber mark. It only takes a click and it would really help me grow my channel. And if you don't, just remember, I know where you live.